Okay, so let's unpack this. What if the secret to maybe recalibrating your own nervous system, finding some, real everyday mindfulness and even understanding commitment, what if that could be found in 2 tiny purring furballs? Today, we're doing a deep dive into the fascinating world of new pet parenthood. It's amazing how the biggest lessons can sometimes come from the smallest members of the family.
It really is. And what's truly fascinating here, I think, beyond just the obvious cuteness factor, is how one person's journey bringing home these 2 kittens, Mucver and Bulut, well, it gives us this vivid, practical blueprint.
A blueprint?
Yeah, for best practices in early kitten development and responsible ownership. It's personal, sure, but it really shines a light on crucial things, often overlooked things, about bringing a new animal into your life. And it's backed by a vetted advice and, behavioral science.
Absolutely. So our mission for you, the listeners, really to get past that initial awe factor. We want to uncover the details, the often surprising stuff about bringing new kittens home. We've looked at personal notes, talked to vets, done the research. Basically, we want to give you the full picture, from those really critical early weeks to getting your home ready and the deep emotional connection that builds over time. This isn't just a cute story. It's more like a guide.
A strategic guide almost, for building a great relationship with your new cats.
Okay, so this whole thing really kicked off with meeting these 2 little bundles of fur, Mucver and Bulut. And right from the start, even before they properly moved in, you could already see their little personalities shining through.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing Mucver and bam, just pure playful energy. He's the explorer, sees a cardboard box, a paper bag, even a drawer left open a tiny bit.
He's in there.
He's in there. First one, it's all action discovery. A little tiger, honestly.
And that's such a great contrast with Bulut, isn't it? Based on the notes, he seems to just drift like a little cloud, which I guess is what his name means.
Yeah.
Calm, gentle, really sweet. So instead of charging in, he's the follower, the observer. He likes to be close, feel connected, but maybe keeps a little gentle distance, that quiet presence.
Exactly.
And these differences, they're not just cute quirks, are they? They're actually really important clues early on. They tell you about each kitten's individual needs, how best to support them as they settle in.
Yeah, like how to play with them or train them or even just help them feel secure, knowing that up front makes a difference.
Absolutely. A tailored approach right from the start.
And here's where it got really interesting for me. Seeing how these 2 tiny personalities, before they even officially arrived, were already kind of shaping their human's world and balancing each other out, too.
How so?
Well, you've got Mucver-Zumi's, right? And then Balut's calm vibe. It creates this dynamic that forces the human to adapt, find a rhythm that works for both. It's like lesson 1 in meeting diverse needs, even before they're technically your responsibility 24/7.
Makes you think about your own energy, too, I bet.
Totally. And watching them so closely, figuring out their individual styles, that really played into the next big decision, a really critical one that, honestly, a lot of new pet parents might rush.
The waiting game.
Exactly, the waiting game. It's so common, right? People think 8 weeks, kittens are weaned, they're good to go.
Right. That's the standard advice you often hear. But the source material we looked at, and what vets often emphasize now, points to something different. Something much better for the kittens, actually.
12 weeks.
12 weeks, yeah. And this isn't just arbitrary. It's backed by a lot of research, a lot of veterinary experience. Waiting those extra 4 weeks, from 8 to 12, it's hugely beneficial for their well-being.
Okay, tell us why. What happens in those extra weeks?
Well, first off, there's the physical health aspect. They're still getting benefits from mom's milk. It's not just food. It's packed with antibodies. Really crucial for building a strong immune system right at the start. He gives them this natural defense boost that, formula just can't fully replicate.
Right, so a stronger immune system. That makes sense. But it's not just about the milk, is it? You mentioned social skills earlier. What exactly are they learning from mom and their siblings then?
Wow. This is maybe even more critical in the long run. Those weeks were like finishing school for kittens, socially and behaviorally. They learn so much from interacting with their mom and litter mates.
Like what specifically?
Okay, key things. Bite inhibition is a big one. Learning how hard they can bite during play without actually hurting. Mom and siblings give immediate feedback, a yelp, a swat.
So they learn limits.
Exactly. Without that, you can end up with what sometimes called play aggression later. Cats that bite too hard because they never learn to soften it. They also learn how to interpret cat body language, how to groom properly, general feline etiquette, boundaries.
No? Okay.
It helps them grow into more confident, less anxious, more adaptable cats. It can prevent a lot of common behavioral problems down the road, like scratching furniture, or being overly shy, or even aggression that sometimes happens when they're separated too early.
That makes so much sense. So that extra waiting period, yeah, it might feel long when you're excited to bring them home.
Oh, it's tempting to rush, absolutely.
But it's really not just giving them a head start. It sounds more like a strategic investment in their future, their physical health, their emotional well-being, and ultimately a better relationship for everyone.
Precisely. You're setting them up for long-term success.
Okay, so moving beyond the waiting game and the initial bonding, let's talk practicalities. Because being a pet parent, well, it quickly goes beyond the cuddles and playtime, doesn't it? Especially thinking about their health.
Oh, absolutely. That becomes a huge focus right from day one, or even before day one, ideally. Building that solid health foundation is paramount.
So what are the first steps?
Well, the sources really emphasize getting those first vet appointments scheduled early, usually around 6 to 8 weeks of age. And these aren't just quick check-ins.
Right, it's a full checkup.
It's a thorough checkup. The vet listens to their heart, their lungs, checks their eyes, ears, coat condition, monitors their weight gain, their growth, making sure all those developmental milestones are being hit, catching anything unusual early on.
And then come the vaccinations, which are obviously huge, protecting them from those really nasty illnesses.
Exactly. Kittens start their core vaccination series around that same time, 6 to 8 weeks. These protect against really common but potentially very dangerous diseases. Things like feline viral rhinotracheitis, calicivirus, panleukopenia. You often hear it called FCRCP.
FCRCP, got it.
And then rabies comes a bit later. But these initial ones are critical because young kittens are so vulnerable. They need boosters as they grow to build up that strong, lasting immunity.
So by the time Mucver and Bulut hit 12 weeks, they'd have already started this crucial process.
Setting them up for good health long term.
Okay.
And then there's something else, something that might surprise some first-time owners, but it's actually super common.
You mean deworming?
Yeah, it's maybe not the nicest topic, but it's essential. It's just a fact of life, really, that almost every single kitten is born with intestinal worms. They usually get them from their mother, either before birth or through nursing.
So it's not a sign of bad care or anything?
Not at all. It's just biology.
Yeah.
So regular deworming treatments are absolutely necessary starting from a very young age. Vets usually recommend a schedule, often every couple of weeks for the first few months, with specific medications. If you skip it, it can lead to problems like poor growth, nutrient deficiencies, tummy issues, even more serious stuff.
Okay, wow. So it's a really comprehensive approach needed right from the start. Vet checks, vaccines, deworming.
It really is. It makes a fundamental difference to their overall health and vitality down the line.
So by the time these little guys are actually ready to move into their new home, there's this huge sense of, well, peace of mind, knowing that they've got this solid health foundation already built. It's about being proactive, not just reactive.
Setting them up for success, like we said, not just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best.
Okay, let's shift gears to preparing the actual home. Kitten-proofing. This is no joke, right? It's like you suddenly put on kitty vision goggles.
Yeah, it really is a shift in perspective. You start seeing your own home completely differently, looking at every corner, every object through their eyes.
What are the biggest hazards people need to look out for?
Well, some are obvious, some maybe less so. Electrical cords are a big one. Kittens love to chew, and that's a shock hazard, obviously. Then there are small objects, things like hair ties, rubber bands, buttons, even small toys that aren't meant for pets.
Easy to swallow.
Exactly. They can cause choking or serious internal blockages.
Yeah.
And then plants. This surprises a lot of people. Many common houseplants are actually toxic to cats. Lilies are extremely dangerous. Sago palms, even things like aloe vera or Dieffenbachia.
Hello.
Yep, can cause vomiting, diarrhea, lethargy. So you really need to check which plants are safe and move, or get rid of any that aren't. It requires a really thorough sweep of the whole house.
Okay, so removing dangers is step one. But then there's the fun part too, right? Setting up the space for them. Making it stimulating but also safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You need to think about their needs. So essential investments include things like a good, sturdy scratching post, or maybe several, in different locations.
Yeah.
That encourages them to scratch there instead of your sofa.
Definitely need that.
A cozy cat bed, or maybe a few different resting spots. And of course, toys. Plenty of toys. It's about creating an environment that lets them be cats, express those natural instincts.
But does it have to be expensive? All those fancy laser pointers and robotic mice?
That leads to a really interesting insight from the source material, and something I've seen countless times. Cats often don't need expensive entertainment.
Yeah.
Sometimes, honestly, a crumpled up piece of paper, a bottle cap flicked across the floor, or just a plain old cardboard box provides way more fun than some fancy electronic gadget.
It's true. Boxes are magical.
They really are. It's not about the price tag. It's about engaging their natural predatory instincts. Stalking, chasing, pouncing. Simple, safe toys that you rotate regularly can provide fantastic physical exercise and mental stimulation. It prevents boredom, which can actually lead to destructive behaviors.
So it's this balance then. Safety first, definitely. Comfort. But also providing that simple, engaging enrichment. It really underscores the thought and commitment involved, doesn't it? Way beyond just putting out food and water.
It's about creating their entire world and making it safe and enriching, holistically.
Okay, let's talk about another really delicate part of this early stage. Bonding, especially when the kittens are still with their mom. It's not about just rushing in, is it? The notes describe a very gentle approach.
Yes, and that's crucial. Cultivating that connection early on requires patience and respect. The approach mentioned short visits, gentle petting, quiet observation. It's all about letting them come to you, letting them control the interaction.
Not overwhelming them.
Exactly. You have to respect their space and their need to feel secure, especially when they're still so small and dependent on their mother. Forcing interaction can actually backfire. It can make them fearful or avoidant.
So if one kitten runs up curious and the other hangs back near mom, both are okay.
Both are perfectly fine. It tells you about their individual comfort levels at that moment. By letting them set the pace, you're essentially sending a message. I'm safe. I won't push you. I respect your boundaries.
Right.
That's how you start building that foundation of trust.
Right. It comes back to trust being something you earn, doesn't it? Slowly, over time. You can't just demand it or force it.
You absolutely can.
And it's those patient, gentle interactions that eventually lead to those really special moments, right? Like the first time one of them actually falls asleep on your lap, totally relaxed, or when they reach out a tiny paw just to touch your hand.
Yes. Those are the moments. Those are the tangible signs that the bond is forming, that trust is genuinely building. It's a silent conversation, like you said.
Yeah.
And this patient approach, it doesn't just benefit the kittens by making them feel secure. It enriches the whole experience for the human, too. It fosters this really deep sense of mutual respect and affection. Biologically speaking, these kinds of gentle, positive interactions can actually trigger the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone in both the cat and the human.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It reduces stress, promotes well-being. It literally helps build that connection on a physiological level. It becomes truly reciprocal.
That's amazing. So this whole process, it's clearly about more than just cute kittens. What are the maybe unexpected lessons here? What can these tiny creatures really teach us about ourselves, about living?
This is where it gets really profound, I think. Beyond the practicalities of care, one of the biggest takeaways, and something the source material touches on beautifully, is how kittens embody living in the moment.
Totally present.
Completely. They aren't stressing about what needs doing tomorrow, or regretting that nap they missed yesterday. Their whole focus is right here, right now, playing, exploring, resting, and, observing that. It can actually have a tangible effect on us.
Oh, so?
Watching their complete presence, their lack of anxiety about anything beyond the immediate scare, it can almost act like a biofeedback loop for our own nervous system. It encourages our own brains to downshift, to step away from worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. It's like a forced mindfulness practice just by being around them.
You really see it in those simple joys they find, don't you? Like chasing a dust mote in a sunbeam, or batting at a dangling string, or just curling up in the tiniest, most unlikely spot for a nap. Pure, uncomplicated happiness.
Exactly. And those moments are such powerful reminders for us as humans, often caught up in complexity and striving, to appreciate the simple things. The beauty of the immediate. We chase big goals, big excitements, but a kitten finds utter joy as a crumpled paper ball.
It's grounding.
Incredibly grounding. It's almost an antidote to that modern pressure to always want more, need more, to feel satisfied. Their straightforward approach to finding contentment is, well, it's a reset button for our often overstimulated minds.
And thinking back to Mucver and Bulut, their different personalities, that energy versus calm, there's a lesson there too, maybe, about balance.
I think so, yes. Seeing how those contrasting energies complement each other, how their human learns to navigate both. It mirrors our own internal need for both excitement and peace, action, and rest. They offer this subtle living model for finding that balance within ourselves. It's quite something.
It really is. Which brings us to how this whole journey just fundamentally changes your understanding of what it means to, well, raise animals. It stops being about just feeding and sheltering. It becomes something much deeper.
Oh, absolutely. It transforms into this profound, evolving commitment. Pet parenthood, as this narrative shows, isn't just responsibility. It's about actively cultivating love, practicing immense patience, and truly embodying commitment. These kittens, Mucver and Bulut, they will depend on their human for everything for years and years.
That awareness really shifts things.
It does. It moves from owning a pet to sharing a life. It's a long-term investment emotionally and practically. But it's also this incredible source of purpose, unconditional love, and even emotional regulation for the human. It's a relationship that teaches you so much about giving and receiving.
And you start picturing the future, don't you? You can almost see it. Mucver, maybe a bit older, but still racing around like a lunatic, that spark never dimming. And Bulut maybe curled up on a sunny windowsill, just calmly watching the birds, his quiet presence being this source of peace, and imagining them both waiting at the door when you come home.
That anticipation.
Yeah, that look on their faces like, finally, where were you? That imagined future, it fuels all the careful steps you take now.
And that connection, that deep, unquestioning bond you anticipate, that's really the heart of it. It makes it clear that bringing these lives into your own isn't just about adding pets. It makes life, well, better.
Fuller,
definitely. And infinitely brighter. It's not just about the care you give, it's about the immense enrichment they bring back. The joy, the comfort, the unconditional affection, it expands your own capacity for connection. It really is a two-way street.
Wow. What an incredible deep dive, really, into not just getting kittens, but strategically preparing for them and understanding them.
Yeah.
We've covered so much, from why waiting those extra weeks matters so much for their development, to the nitty-gritty of health checks and kitten-proofing, and that slow, patient art of building trust.
Yeah.
It's so clear that these early choices, these early moments, they don't just affect the kitten's start in life. They shape everything that follows their health, their behavior, and that incredibly deep bond with their human. It sets the stage for years of connection.
It truly does.
Yeah.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, maybe it leaves you, the listener, with something to think about, a question to ponder, perhaps.
Go for it.
Inspired by that pure, simple kitten perspective we talked about. What simple, in-the-moment joy could you consciously look for or create in your own life today? Or, thinking about that patient waiting game, what small, consistent act of patience right now might lead to a richer connection or a deeper understanding for you down the road?